Guys, I think that's it. I'm washed. So 2 weeks ago, I played in the SVO Kickoff, the first official tournament. I managed to do 8-2 and qualify for the playoff. And last week, I go to the playoff and I 0-2. I completely fumble. And so yesterday, we had the first SVO Qualifier. So Kickoff had a direct invite for WGP. SVO Qualifier will be 4 of them, and each of them will qualify you to the Contenders, which is at Singapore. The top 2 players will get in. So we have a few chances to try to get to top and get into that next stage. So yesterday I chose to play my spell boost Rune, same list as in Kickoff, satisfied with it. Even with the rise of Warhaven, I didn't feel the need to include the William. Flames of Chaos was enough for me, and Odin is still there to try to steal some games. But the rules were different for this tournament, for the qualifier. So the first phase was still 10 best of ones, with 2 decks, so you get to choose which deck you want to queue, and you only play 1 game. But after that you would get into the play-ins, and for this phase you have to play best of 3, but you don't get to change the decks that you had from the previous phase. So even starting from the best of 1, you cannot put a bait deck. You have to play 2 decks that you know that will win during best of 3. And so I decided to go very solid with this sword list. No quick leader, I wanted to optimize it to be able to beat Warhaven, which was on the rise to counter Roach, and also won the previous SVO. So I maxed in on the Samurai. I included Grimnir, also useful in the mirror match, get some easy clear with Gildaria. Still the One of Furious, I think it can still steal a lot of games if you get to develop it. And I did consider putting in Geno, but I did realize that against Warhaven, it's pretty important to force Haven to use their coin, and then not be able to Wilbert on 5, so that then you can Odin, banish the Wilbert, just go get your face damage, and put your opponent at 12 for Albert later. So as usual, let's get into the games. So my first opponent of the day was Gengar, and you might recognize this name, as you see, like it's a DreamHack Unreal MVP. This was like the old offline event that we had only in 2018 that was very hype. And Gengar was basically, I think, probably the winner if he has the MVP tag. And you might know his name recently because he actually organized a big tournament for the opening of Shadowverse 1, and one that I tried. So I'm putting this game at ×2 speed. Honestly, nothing really interesting happened in this one. We'll just speed up until the turn 9, which is often the crucial turn in the spell boost mirror. It's the one we have to discuss. Like you see, he gets like tons of followers, so I feel kind of pressured into playing an Angria to try to double clear. But yeah, I had feedback from the previous video of people wanting me to put the full game, Mulligan include. Maybe because I tried to skip until the key points, but maybe that's a bit too hard to visualize like what the game would have looked like. So there you go. Use that to try to clear the body of Angria. Yeah, the second one I don't. So I do for the usual play. That's a bit annoying for Rune. The double War Norman. And because I didn't develop Bergent, I'm like, there's a chance he cannot break all the barriers. But he has Bergent, and he uses Demonic Call. And that's actually an exact clear of Norman. So a bit sad because he did use resources, but he kept on spell boosting, and now he has Bergent set up, so he's not really late. And I use UC, I don't have the climb. I do have Quan and double call, so that's 16 damage, 17 if you can trade. For turn 9, because I have the coin. Because of that, I'm going to try to Quan, push for some damage right now, and my spell boost reduce the call. But, you know, I don't have the climb, I cannot win with Cositus. I have to win before they do. And there they go. I kinda hope that they have to Melby Super Evo. Use their Super Evos, but they don't. And now that's turn 9. And obviously I cannot just coin Demonic Call because I don't have anything to trade into. Well played on them. Usually you don't want to develop a big board around these turns, just to deny the fact that you can make Demonic Calls. I guess one play I could have made is maybe Norman, but I don't want to Super Evo. So Norman Award and maybe Sage Light. But if you develop a big board, you fall into like the demonical Quan early falls. So I wasn't a fan of that. So in the end I concluded, okay, I want them to stay in range for Quan. I don't want them to have a big board to demonical me, Quan me. So I'm just going to play Odin and coin to go back to 20. That just gets out on a Soully Fall, like Silent Raider and 5 PP for 6 damage. But you're going to see, they trade, they reveal the double demonic call, so probably did well to not develop a board. But they have Cositus, Declimb, Rider, that's 10 damage, and the second Declimb, and I cannot do anything against that. I didn't draw Declimb, they drew 2, so GG to them. For the second one we have Warhaven from Group 3B. It's a bit tricky to know the group of your opponents and the rank. We used to use that, but that kind of means that on ladder at least, they don't get really good results. So you can use that as an indication to think like how strong your opponent is going to be. But yeah, this is a super favored matchup for Warhaven. There I choose to engage over the insight. Just make sure that my Sage Light is going to be ready for the AoE, notably for turn 4. They do develop second body, and I do go for the Sage Light. It's a bit risky to take too much phase damage against Warhaven in the early, just because they can have double Odin, and if you have to leave a board, they can Jan, and suddenly that's a lot of damage. But there you see, they don't really have anything. They let me Bergent. They can't even coin Wilbert. They do go in for the Divine Guard, so they keep the body. But that just gives me something to trade into with Onion. Wind Blast is enough. I do opt to do clip the Looking Sparks, because I don't see that much removal in my hand. And... yeah, turn 6, since I see that they didn't have Wilbert, I'm getting a bit tricky, and I choose to go for Odin to banish the draw. Just keep that at 4 in hand. And I'm like, yeah, they're probably not coming back from this position. And I even like use the Demonic Call because I don't see a coin in my hand, but I see that I have an occasion to push for 6 face. And Warhaven doesn't have that much heal. There's really just Salifa and maybe Olivia if I run it. Seeing that you just use Vessel, I go for the Norman double ward. They need to have second Vessel. This Jan isn't amazing. She's going to clear the 2 golems but leave 7 damage on the board. And so I think the Wind Blast is very ready. Maybe not that much, but yeah, even just that patches for a lot of damage. I still have a Super Ego. I still have a Decline to look for damage through Cositus. So yeah, it's pretty doomed. They are not even clearing this board. So yeah, that's just them missing a bit of the curve. And me, I had a good end, but the matchup is very favored anyway. So yeah, I do a bit of misorder. I didn't realize we were going to summon wards. But yeah, anything I do is pretty much... I had a lot of outs out of the top deck, so... next up we have Violet with Abyss. I remember they were on Abyss, and I think it was Sword. So normally I would play Sword, but I'm in a list with no Quick Blader. I can get wrecked by turn 1 very easily. So I decide to opt for Rune anyway, just having the tons of heal, thinking it will be enough. The end was pretty bricked, but hopefully I top deck Pelvi. And I see them coin the Aril, and I'm like, this is not the usual pattern. They are probably lacking good stuff. And there they just let my 2-2 trade into Aril. I just decide to Sage Light to remove all of that, not take any risk of taking 4 face. I go for Mami Evo, and now I have like my turn 5, very ready. If you can in the matchup, you like to Evo Bergent, because the Onion is going to be able to trade all of the 1-1s, all of the bats, and it's going to be very useful in the long term. And there they float 2 play points. I was kind of scared of them doing more sword damage or having Aragavi. They don't, so I do the Evo like this, because if they have Aragavi, it's going to be 7 damage, and because of the Onion, the Iron Grey is going to be staying at 6-1. and Evo, they're going to have to Evo into the unsummoning. So really a key of the matchup is to try to keep board, because they are really not going to try to answer it, but they're going to damage their life point a lot. So there's really an occasion to try to keep the board, pushing your damage 6 by 6, and actually pressuring them into clearing your board instead of going face. And so that's what's going to happen actually. They're going to Olivia. They have to try into the ward, but they can try the Angria. I do have to think for a bit, because it's not super easy to deal with that board. Odin Super Evo is only 10 damage for now. So I do my calc, and I think I have to Quan there. It will still leave a ward. I'm trying to think like how I can die. Because if you have the triple Razorry Claw, Rage of Serpent, they can deal 9 face. And they don't have any ghosts at least, so I don't see how they finish me off. You have to be careful about Odin also. Banish a ward and Super Evo face 7, but we're clear for that too. So yeah, I think I ended up doing some trades. And once again, like trying to go face. I also did consider super evolving the ward, but it really loses hard to Odin, so just wanted to pressure them. Because now you see, like if they went Odin, they would have to try to super evo, and that's just so good for me. So they do have their second Olivia. The bat is going to be a nil 4, so that's not bad. I'm slightly going to move up the camera because I see that it hides my play points. Sorry for that. And there, because I leave the Quan body, Odin is just lethal. So didn't really need the Odin. I had the Sage Light, I had ways to heal. They had no Super Evo left. But it's just a good security to make sure that the game is closed sooner. So for this game I'm against Sky, and it's a bit tricky because it's not just Sky, it's Sky Child, and it's actually Himari, the top player of 2019 in Shadowverse 1. So right off the bat, I recognize the Flare, the MVP for 2019, and I'm like, this is going to be actually harder than I thought. And we have, he had like Spell Boost and Roach. And because I really don't like the spell boost into Roach, I try to Q my sword. And right now this is turn 2. I order the pizza, and the delivery guy is calling. So I'm like, okay, can you wait for 5 minutes? I'm coming down. And I have to play this game fast to not make him wait too much. So that's really bad timing. Should have anticipated that a bit more. So I'm just going to be a bit storming this game. There I'm just going to go back a bit. The tricky decision is like, what do you play there? Normally you would love to play a Rose or a Dog, challenge them to have the Wheel Blast. I don't really want to develop the Vals because it's going to be strong to clear the Angria body. And so, but I feel like Prim is not really enough damage. I also predict that they're going to Sage Light, so Nonja Ward won't be like amazing. So in the end I decide to go for the Samurai, thinking that if he stays alive it's a bit more damage than Prim. Not sure if that was the right decision. It does force a Wind Blast, so in the end not too bad. Nonja is going to have Rush thanks to Luminous, so I get to get some face damage. But Bergent is going to be able to clean most of the board pretty cleanly. There I do hesitate on going for Zirconia. I think in the end I opted to go for Vals and Prim. Just because it's awkward for them to go for Flame of Chaos right now. They want to Angria, absolutely. They don't have it. They have some looking spots. 2 of them actually, but they don't hit the ambush. And they're going to triple Witch Brew, so okay. They have all the draw they want. They can Norman easily. I do top deck the Gildaria, which isn't amazing in this scenario. So there the play is just obvious. Just Zirconia. Develop a huge board. Hope they don't have a William. They do have a William, so at 9. So once again, obvious play. Just going to Odin. I don't really need to Super Evo, because I predict that I will need a Super Evo on turn 8, and then I want to top deck an Albert. But as you see, it's not really going to matter. He's going to have the Norman. Yes, a Super Evo, he would have seen me at 12. But once again, like, I don't see the Albert on top of my deck. So they do Flame of Chaos. Ziwa is going to be denying Albert anyway, and I didn't draw it. So just going to develop a board once again. 2 nice trading to Angria. I keep the Seria in my hand because Gildaya is active, and it can be an extra more damage if they go for a Quan. Whereas if I just go Gildaya, I might have struggles to fully clear the board. They do have the Quan, so it's going to be like probably the last bit of Subrus they want for their decline. And there I don't really have a choice. I did went for Amelia first because now we are on the clock. I'm just hoping that it cannot kill me on the next turn and that I can use their last Super Evos and then maybe have Albert get set up. I do draw the Albert, so I'm ready for that. So I'm going to Gildaya. That's not going to be the cleanest, but that's still going to be a clear. But as you see, like, none of this will matter. Once again, Cositus, Climb, Sage Light if you want, okay. Rider, second Climb. I can't do anything against that. And honestly, I speedrun this game to not make the pizza guy wait, but I wouldn't have played any differently, I think. It was just a draw difference. Now, this is round 5, so we are 2-2. Any loss, we are out, and we have 6 more rounds to win. This is against Senkao, which is actually one of my friends in real life, one of the best Veigeforce players in France. But once again, it's like, he queues War Haven into my spell boost, and I'm like, okay, pretty easy matchup normally. I do get the draw, I did get the Bergent and Angria. I'm going second, so I'm in a very good spot. He does play the Taiga, which is a bit slow in this matchup. Divine lets him get some tempo. Technically, I could have overreacted and go Foresight, Stormy Blast at 3 into Chareta. But I felt that I was going to Evo anyway, either Angria or Bergent. And I wasn't too scared to take like some 4 damage. So he does proc the Tiger, but pass. Apparently nothing else to play, not even a Grimnir. So that's perfect. I can actually Bergent instead of an Angria. And Bergent is going to be staying at 6-4, so that's not even good for Salefa. And there he passes turn 5. And I think he emotes. He didn't emote, okay. So, in this kind of spots, it is important to not think, oh yeah, I won, and to totally relax. Even when your opponent is drinking, you have to think about what they could have. And so I see that in his list he has 3 Vessel, and my guess is that he probably has a Vessel in hand, or like 2 of them, or he just has all of the high curve. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to just Angria and get Vesseled, and you don't have Decline yet, so I'm just going to take this turn to get a few draws. So going to go for a new brew, draw another one, switch. But I didn't get the Decline. I don't really love my hand anymore. And there he goes for Wilbert. I'm like, actually if I deal up Angria, I have the second one anyway. He would have to Evo, and he couldn't trade because of the ward. I would be in such a great position if I didn't go for that. And then I get to draw. And even if he went Vessel and clears the board, that means he didn't get to Wilbert on the curve turn. So I think actually maybe Angria would have been better in this situation. So I do regret a bit, but the game has to go on. There I think it's just easy Angria. Yeah. And I do see the Quan, so now there's a plan of going Quan, double Demonic Call for 17. It's sad in its matchup, because usually they go for either and they have tons of ward. And you actually don't get to send the Celestial Shaking Face if you don't have a Decline to draw some clears. So I go into this game plan, but I know that I have to be careful. It's also my second Wind Blast, and they are pretty valuable against this kind of deck. So Charita Spray Evo. I was going to be betting a ton of stat actually. What did I do again? It's a bit hard to Sage Light. I could double Sage Light, but that's barely not enough. So I think I have to, yeah, use a Wind Blast, add Ingria, and there was a choice between normal Evo, trade with the 5-5, or just Super Evo. And I did realize that Super Evo means that they cannot Jan cleanly. They have to also Evo the Jan if they want to, because they're going to be at 7 health. And also, in my end, there was nothing else to really Super Evo, so I went for that. If I ever get some big wards, and you try to 50-50 on the Divine Guard and misses it, sad for him. Because now I'm able to double Sage Light for the clear. There I kind of make a mistake. I forgot about the barrier of this card. So she actually survives. And I'm so focused on my double Demonic Call Quan for turn 9. I'm so tunnel visioned. But I don't see that I could just call, trade this and go for 7th phase. And now it's very easy, like any... Just going Quan, going phase once will be enough for lethal. So I end up trading. I end up not engaging. I don't really know why. Oh yeah, no, I engaged sooner in this turn, sorry. But you're going to see it's going to matter. I just wanted to keep the option to be able to Sage Light for AoE once again. Because if I didn't give the EC guilds, I cannot like make it respawn. But you're going to see it's going to matter. Because now they Lapis. So it's kind of a threat for later. And because of the Onion and the New Brew, I don't have the board space actually to Demonic Call Quan for 10. If I just had one less, I could have went double Call, Quan Super Evo. Or just like trade a Demonic Call. But yeah, you see what I mean. I would have lethal. And now I'm kind of waiting. Yeah, I think I'll go for the Umbrew. Oh no, okay. Okay, I was thinking, he had no Super Evos left. If he had, I have to basically pray he doesn't have Vessel, and so that it doesn't clear the 10-10. Because if I just go for draw, and he has either, I'm never going fix again, I'm never going to score this damage. So I kinda just go for it. And I keep the Demonic Call because they just increase the damage by 1, it's not really relevant. He has to Jan, and he's not able to clear. And at least I was thinking that anyway I could like double call, climb, and maybe find my one off of Dean for lethal, even if he was able to Vessel Shikigami. But yeah, anyway, because he couldn't clear, but just GG. We have one in need, even an Evo to clear if needed. So yeah, I didn't play clean in this one, but we still managed to go through because the matchup is just so favored. Next up, I'm against CK Rag, and I see that he's playing Abyss and Roach. And this time I don't really feel confident into queuing my rune, so I actually queue the sword. The end is good enough against Roach. It's a matchup where you really need to be an aggressor, and my list didn't have any quick blader, so I'm a bit struggling with that. I did top deck the best 2-drop, so I'm happy about that. I wasn't really happy about any of the other ones. I'm surprised that the coin got wood, but it's actually not bad because it kind of telegraphed the double fairy ambush. I have to fall into it, sadly. I need them to use it at some point. But yeah, they do get the draw out of their play. I'm just going to develop Zarya now. I'm thinking it's going to be able to play some Lilies or Glade. So more bodies that don't actually instantly die to Zarya. He just plays the Lily. Get the 1 damage there, get a clean trade. And he was on a 3 of Defensor, so a bit more annoying to trade. And so there I could just YOLO Zirconia and hope that he doesn't have Glade, or just make him use the Glade. But I do recognize that in this matchup, recently I learned the table for damage. I'm going to put it on the screen right now. It's coming from Esia, the best forest player in the West. And so the base that you need to understand is that Roach, if they can fill their turn with 1-drops, on turn 7, with Carbuncle Super Evo and Double Roach, they can make 16 damage. And for each 0 cost that they have, and for each extra play point that they spend, that's plus 2 damage. So what does that mean for my game plan? Is that if I take 2 damage from the early game, from the start, I don't really have a lot of heal in my deck, I'm not going to recover easily. And they're going to be able to kill me 1 turn sooner. So I absolutely didn't want to take any damage. So I'm going to actually make the decision to Valse there and develop Samurai. I'm going to Evo the Samurai just to present like a bit more board. Maybe try to force a Glade. Sadly, they can just straight it all with parries, so not ideal. I do develop the Gildaria, it's not like super good in this matchup anyway, they don't rely on the board. Now they get to Glade, so I do think like maybe Zirconia sooner would have been good to actually force it out. But at least I'm still at 20, so my game plan is followed. There I gamble for the Olivia, because none of my other plays was really clean. Maybe just Gildaria, but I wasn't in love with that. And as you see, I don't top deck a 2-drop, so that's just like the lamest Olivia ever. But I do see that he did draw the second Albert. Second Gildaria isn't also very good. There is going to just develop a Lily to kill the Olivia for free. Didn't even get to evolve. But I do realize it didn't get any Lambent, the amulet that gives you 0 cost. So I'm starting to think maybe it doesn't have lethal immediately. So I'm going to stay with that mentality of staying at 20. I'm going to use Samurai to kill Lily. Maybe I could have developed Gildaria. I would just like a bit more fun of her. But it's not going to matter. He does play the Grass Super, so because it was on combo free, he's able to stop for Roach exactly. So I know he has it in hand, he probably didn't before. Just going to make some board and force me to trade. And I realize, because they don't have any healing with Lambent, if I just go Albert now, go face twice, they're at 11, they have to kill me this turn, or to find Lambent and play 2 of the healing spell, else they just die to the second Albert. And I do make the choice to not super evolve now, because board space is a kind of tricky for Roach. They're going to play some Bales, which is going to be 4 damage to the Albert. And so if I have a low HP board, they might be less likely to be able to fully trade into it and make some board space. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to not give them too much HP by super evolving. He has to go for a Canal Ladder, so I think he was looking for a Lambent Amulet. He does go for Carbuncle. And I'm like, you needed to have like a second Bale at 0 cost, maybe 3 of them to kill me. He's just going to show me his damage, but Albert is just going to work. So somehow, with very weak plays all over the game, Double Albert just won the game. And I was like ravaged by that. And this is round 7, I'm against Freaky. Once again I see Ruby group. So I kinda have my bias that's going to be in line. I'm just going to throw back Norman. I'm like, this end is good enough. Normally I wouldn't keep a homework time. Maybe it was a misplay. I was just thinking that if he was very passive in the early, I could maybe like try to go for it, try to look for some 5-drops. So far, very normal development. This was on 2 of the Hashnikar. I don't know how to say that. So a bit surprised by that, but it's basically a vanilla right now, so I'm fine with that. Miss the 4-drop. So I'm considering about leaving this alive, but you really don't want to take any damage against Abyss, because they're going to have so much in the late game with the Odins, with Cerberus. So I'm just going to commit the Anengria. Also for the Zaragavi, so fine with that. They do have it. They don't evolve it, so fine with that also. Now, I'm thinking it's a good occasion. I don't have of another fight drop, like an Angria or a Bergent. And I'm like, this is a good occasion to Sage Light to heal while I have the tempo. And because I drew the Stormy Blast, I'm also fine with it. Just engaging to make the Norman alive. He does a lot of the Undead Soldier, he was on 2 of them, so I was kind of expecting it. Brave, the Flame of Chaos, that's going to be able to do a clean job. I do gamble on the Looking Smart. There was a chance he falls on the 3-3, but I was not like fine with that, but I was willing to take the risk because it's just so clean after that with the 7 damage Flame of Chaos. Actually going to Foresight and use the one on the right. That's not been too much spell boosted. And I'm okay with using a Demonic Call to finish to clear. It's rare to end the game with a Super Quan against Abyss, so I'm fine with it. Most of the time just go to Exhaustion. But I'm kinda scared because we are 15 cards in and I still didn't grow the decline. Once again, it's not really wanting to come tonight. He does play the second Ashnikar and Jafnar, and actually a bit annoying, because when I try that I'm going to take 4 damage. And there I'm just really panicking about not doing the climb, so I go for draw 3 Norman. And there I think it was a big misplay of the game, because I saw Blast does proc the last word, 4 damage on Norman, he survives, okay. But I think that there I should have evolved. Just making a golem, because now it's going to be able to saber us. And one of the key of this matchup is that you want to have a big board before Cerberus to force them to trade all of the small tokens, because now he has a big Cerberus body and it's really not easy for me to clear it. Like, we can look at the possibilities. Quan Super Evo, 6 there, 3 there, 2 there. The 2/1s, the 2/2/1s will leave, so that doesn't work. I can use the Demonical, 1 leaves. I don't like that. I don't want anything to leave, because if I have the second Cerberus, it's going to be boosted, it's going to go face, it's going to be a lot of problems. Technically I could go Sage Light, 4 damage AoE into Angria, trade the Golem, but I will take 4 face, and I don't have any more healing in my hand, so I wasn't a fan of that. And so, after a bit of thinking, I look at this Flame of Chaos, and I decide to just go, yeah, fuck it, we'll just use it. I did have to spell boost it 1 more time, and my only option for that was either Demonic Call or Sage Light. So that's why I Sage Light first, and then I have to take the 4 damage from the 2 mimis. So, a bit unfortunate, but that's not a misplay, that was like needed for the clear. I can do it again. And now I realize, like, there goes for the Gentetsu Yuzuki, full wards, and I'm like, oh, I use my Sage Light, I use my Flame of Chaos, actually don't have an answer for that. I look at my hand and it just doesn't work out. Quan and Demonic Call, even if I try to use the ward, I can only clear the wards. And so, I go for Angria, I should have been safer, so of course. Claiming for bodies, going to leave a ward, but like, it's pretty doomed. Like, they just need to have Cerberus, or like Odin is also enough, and they do have it. Whereas, if you look at my turn 7, once again, if I did play the Guardian, thanks to the Evo, like you saw I had like tons of Evo at the end of the game, so that wouldn't have been a problem. So if I had 1 more Guardian, he would like, let's skip to this. He would like trade the Mimi into Guardian, Super Evolve, probably trade this or 2 of the 2/1s into the ward. No, he would trade Cerberus into the ward, and then 1 more body into the Norman. But that would just be like 1 less body, and Quan Demonic Call was actually a clear. So I would have been safe to go for that, and then save the Flame of Chaos for Gentetsu. And there I could just like try to go for the grind. So yeah, in the end, I lose this 7th round. I'm kind of ashamed because I know the matchup, I know it's going to go. So yeah, it's just my mistake, I'm washed, I told you. And so this is how SVO Qualifier 1 went. For Team Revelation, we had McEntor that got to top 42, lost in the BO freeze, And we had Dan that got to top 16 but lost at the last BO3. So still a great performance, guys. Good job. It's just sad to not see you in the top 8. But it does make me realize, in Shadowverse Worlds Beyond we have 1,000 players in the tournaments. It's become very hard to try to get the top. So I think I have to revise my objective for this year. I think that even one SVO top would be very respectable. To be honest, I wasn't going in with a lot of expectations. I didn't really like this meta anymore. The spell boost mirror is just completely stupid. It's just how can you bullshit with Cositis and Climb. And for the other second decks, I wasn't really in love with any other second option. Even the Sword Mirror is like stupidly second favored, with turn 4 Zirconia, with turn 8 Albert. So yeah, I'm ready to move into the third expansion, which is going to be the Omens. I hope it's good, I hope the new meta is good, that we get to see just more decks, more interesting scenarios, maybe less of decline, but I'm done with it. Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you, Side Games. And yeah, for now we're just going to keep on doing this series and try to get a top into the SVO Qualifiers. So that's it, hope you enjoyed the replays. If you did, please leave a like, please subscribe, that supports the channel a ton. You don't even realize how much that helps. And also that will keep me motivated to keep on doing this series of tournament reports for Shadowverse Worlds Beyond. So thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!